happy, and it just seems to be helping his chess. He's the only person I know that can, while streaming, talk to chat, and also play good moves. I've tried it a few times and it did not go well chess-wise. And there you see Hikaru taking back that king's pawn. What do you think he's going to play? C4? D4?
I would have guaranteed before the game he would start with E4, and there we go. He takes it back and just teases chat.
There are different tricks, right? To take it back or to leave it there for seconds, and then to make your opponent trying to guess that what is really going to happen.
And Magnus, of course, he copies knight f3, knight c6.
That he enjoyed getting out of the opening there. So this one, it is the Roy Lopez, the Spanish, and Moment of Truth. Will Magnus go for the Berlin for his World Championship repertoire? In Magnus's last classical game before this tournament against myself, he played the Marshall Gambit. And here we go, no Berlin today. He takes back the bishop. And we are headed towards the Marshall. Judith, this is one of the openings that's been your bread and butter as well.
Oh, absolutely. I even played it with the black color in the later years of my career, but mainly I was playing on the white side. I'm very curious what Magnus has in mind. Of course, martial attack was always a system which was bothering people who are playing Rai Lopez, and it was always very challenging, so that's why many of the players already these days, they don't even enter unless they want to make a draw or want to be very solid and test the memory of the other player of black, because you have to remember a lot of things. So if c3, then d5. That's the martial, but I'm expecting that it's going to be avoided.
It tends to be the pattern that people avoid the martial, because the martial has pretty much been worked out quite deeply.
Yeah, I remember the days when I was young and commentators would say, yes, it's the martial attack, we're going to see some aggressive play. Now it's like, oh no, it's the martial, it's going to be a forced draw in 40 moves. Times change.
That's how the opening, what people are playing, it's transforming, right? Because players want to have a game, they want to be sharp, and look at
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that he's played too many World Championship matches. He's a bit jaded by that, as we've seen by him walking away now from the world title. And the more you study with computers, the more you realise the martial is totally fine. You equalise with black and against the very best players in the world. That tends to be a decent result. And I've had this position before myself as white. We're about to see an endgame. Nakamura has had it against Magnus, this exact position, I think, in the past. And it's a sign of respect, I think, Judith. Magnus respects Hikaru enough to say, I will happily force a draw against you with black. And I think this one is going to go down to the Armageddon. Queens are off the board. The white knight is pinned in the centre. But white can use the fact that there are some tactics along the diagonal against the black king to equalise this one. I think we'll stay with this one. Just a few more moves, and then we'll do a roundup of the other openings, which are far more tense.
Yes, and I have to say you're completely right. They have in fact played 3 games in this particular variation. But well, we have something a bit special because we did in fact ask a very important person about their expectations of the Hikaru Magnus game. Let's have a listen. Very insightful comments there. Drama aplenty, would you say?
I mean, I've jinxed it, first of all. I've cursed commentary, commentators cursed there. I'm everywhere. You just can't escape me. Sorry, everyone at home. You're probably sick of my voice by now. But yeah, you heard it here first. It's going to be an Armageddon. Players have raced into the endgame, Judith.
Well, I had this game, I think, exact this position against Swidler in some event, maybe World Championship, but sadly it's 2005 or something. And they are going to repeat moves, and then in 20 minutes we have the first Armageddon, right?
Yeah. Well, okay, and they are literally racing towards that draw. I mean, we haven't even looked at any other games, and these two will have finished.
Only
King
this very
3.
interesting one.
They only started 10 minutes ago, Yolanda.
Well, what's your opinion on this type? I mean, how do you think about this?
It's practical. It makes sense for their tournament standings. It makes sense because they both deem each other as big rivals for the title eventually. We see the handshake there. Of course, disappointing not to see kind of a full-blooded fight against them, but that's the beauty of this format. That's why we love Norway Chess. We see an Armageddon. We get even more action between these two. So I don't think we can complain too much. It's understandable. Hikaru's had a long day, busy day, giving a Q&A session earlier, and for Magnus with black, good result.
It certainly is a good result, and of course Hikaru did run a gauntlet. You know, he started with 2 blacks in a row, and now he's had his first white and agreed a very quick draw against Magnus. The players 20 minutes to face off in an Armageddon, and of course that will have a decisive result. Someone will be walking away with 1.5 points, the other one 1 point. And well, that short game, let's have a look at